All right, what is going on, everybody? It is Packer People 12 for the second episode of the Acme Packers podcast. I'm joined by always Big B. How are you doing?
Awesome.
And we have a special guest of Green Bay Today. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining the show. First guest should be a good one.
Of course.
So, we got to ask you. This is our big theme of our show. Well, for the first episode of anyways, and it's a big conversation from me and Big B. Your 3 draft crushes for tonight.
Ooh.
I've actually got asked that question a lot. I know you guys, since you follow me, you probably know who at least some of them are. First and foremost, I think, a realistic guy, like one of my biggest draft crushes has to be Josh Jones, the tackle from Houston. At 30, I think he fits the mold of what the Packers look for in a tackle, really athletic. And I think he also would probably fit Matt LaFleur's run zone offense pretty well. So, yeah, that's definitely my first guy. Number 2, I think Jeff Gladney, the defensive back from TCU. He reminds me, he's got similar physical attributes as kind of Jair Alexander. I think my comparison for him, which is going to come out tomorrow, is Desmond King. So he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he can definitely play big, even though he's a little smaller. And then thirdly, it's not a popular guy, but I like my third draft crush. And I'm not saying this is for the Packers, but my third draft crush is Jeremy Chin, the defensive back out of Southern Illinois. He is a very, very interesting guy. He wasn't really expected to go in the, I think, top 50 before the combine. And ever since the combine, he's a freak athlete. And I think that's something teams are really going to look for. And also, he can kind of play that hybrid linebacker position. Also, something for defensive back to be thrown in the box. So those are my 3 guys.
I agree. I really like Josh Jones and Jeff Gladney. Jeremy Chin, I think, would be very interesting as a hybrid. We've seen a lot of those guys past few years. Jabril Peppers, Isaiah Simmons going to go in the top 10s. So that he would definitely be a very interesting player to see how he develops.
Yes, sir. He would. I wouldn't be completely against it too. I mean, I know a lot of people would not be really happy with another safety at 30, but that just goes to, it's kind of a really similar pick to linebacker. And I think some teams on their draft board probably do have him as a just straight up linebacker. I think that's a pick that could surprise a lot of people. And I'm not completely ruling out him first round. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah, definitely. And I would be very excited to see how Pettin uses him. We almost had something like that with Josh Jones a few years ago. He just wasn't really recognized as that until we realized, he's got some speed. We didn't develop as much as we'd like to as safety, obviously. Now he's on the Cowboys. But that is what it is.
Agreed.
So a lot of talk going around now on Twitter, especially Instagram and Twitter for Packers for Packers draft is quite 2 different places there. But a lot of people just wanting to win now so much. Oh, we can't draft a quarterback, or we got to draft a wide receiver now because Aaron Rodgers' time is running out. So going on that route, if we are in this fully win now position, what position do you guys think is the most important to win now? You disconnect?
Did he disconnect?
I think he already disconnected.
Hey, when we start back up, you can ask that question.
He's back in.
Yeah, so don't be talking bad about me. I know you guys are.
Yeah, Big B, dude. God, I wish you would have left. You just stayed gone.
Win now mode. What position? I would pick probably corner or defensive tackle or right tackle. Corner because we need depth, and Jamon Williams is not a guarantee, and Kevin King's contract up is next year. Defensive tackle, we need somebody right next to Kenny Clark. That's pretty much it there. And right tackle, we have really nobody there except Rick Wagner. So that's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the popular opinion would be wide receiver. But I think if we really want to win now, that right tackle especially is going to be more important for us and building up a great defense. So even when Aaron Rodgers isn't 2013 Aaron Rodgers, we can still win those games.
Yep.
And what's your answer there, Green Bay, today?
That's actually ironic that Big B said that. I have the same exact answer, cornerback and defensive tackle. And I know, like you said, the popular opinion, is wide receiver at 30, but a lot of people fail to realize the Packers made it to the Final Four with the receiving corps they had. And I'm not saying, it's the best one in the league, and there's definitely room for improvement, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It absolutely could be better. The depth could absolutely be better for sure. But a lot of people discredit what they did last year and really just how far they made it last year into the season. So to answer your question, I just think a cornerback, Shannon Sullivan played pretty good last year. We also have Kadar Holman too and Josh Jackson. I hope Josh Jackson can figure out his stuff this year. That'd be really tough to see him sit on the sideline for another season.
Me too, especially because I have a lot of invested in him.
Yeah, and then
biggest fan over here.
And then Shannon Sullivan, like I said, he played pretty good last year for the role he was asked to play. So, and then Kadar Holman, he was really good in summer. He had a really good training camp and then a pretty good preseason. So he didn't really get on the field. I don't think at cornerback. I don't think he took any snaps last year. So maybe they like him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they know something we don't and throw him there. But like Big B said, Tramon Williams leaving. That's still, as Brian Gutekunst mentioned in his most recent press conference with the media, they're going to address that after the draft. I think that's kind of what we all thought they were going to do anyway. It's not a guarantee that he comes back, just like Big B said. So I think cornerback is something they could look to address, and especially with Kevin King's contract expiring next season and all the other, barrage of free agents that they're going to have to pay. And you just can't pay them all.
Yeah.
And then also going to defensive tackle. They just need someone next to Kenny Clark. I mean, I think he was the most double-team defensive tackle in the whole NFL last season, and he still dominated. So you get a guy to just free him up, give him just a little more one-on-ones, and I think the Packers' run defense could look a lot different, and especially with Christian Kirksey right behind those guys.
See Ross Blacklock.
Exactly. That's a realistic
or Raekwon Davis.
Yep.
Yes. Big B's big promoter for
Me too.
I think you bring up a good point there. Next free agency is going to be so awful for us. There's a lot of guys that we're going to have to pay, so this draft's going to be very important for all that shakes up.
Especially my boy Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, we really hope they bring Aaron Jones back, but if they don't, then they're obviously not going to rely on Jamal to be a starter. They're not going to go forward with him. But moving on to our next point, big question: does Green Bay look for Rodgers' replacement this year, possibly Jordan Love at 30?
Go ahead, Big B. You got this.
Oh, again. All right. I say no. Rodgers wants to play until he's 40. I don't think right now would be a good idea, especially the way to start first-round pick on a quarterback, even though we did that in 2005. But I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I'll tell you something that I think is interesting. If Jordan Love is there at 30, which, first of all, I don't even think he's going to make it to 30, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine the Packers social media fans if they traded up to get Jordan Love, let alone take him at 30. But anyway, that's a really interesting pick at 30. And something I'd like to mention here is I really understand the pick. I think Aaron Rodgers would understand the pick. And I know a lot of people like to focus on, his like quote unquote window that he has left. The Packers are still going to be a football team after, after he's gone. And I'm not saying that they have to take a quarterback early in this draft, but I think that's something they should maybe look to do.
Hey, this is Packer People 12. Thanks so much for watching the first 10 minutes of this episode on IGTV. You can watch the full episode on Spotify. we'll see you later.